We're going to continue looking at the world religions 101. And we've already taken a look at Christianity, and we've said this is our number one. And number two was Islam. Number three was Hinduism. Number four was Buddhism. So those are our four major religions of the world: Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism. And we said we put a 3 here under Judaism because of its impact on other religions. But when you take a look at how old Hinduism is, and Buddhism and Jainism, you can see that they had a tremendous impact on Christianity as well as Judaism and Islam. Today we're going to look at Sikhism. Sikhism means Sikhism, the word learner or disciple. Learner. L-E-A-R-N-E-R. Learner. Or disciple. D-I-S-C-I-P-L-E. Sikhism. Again, about 1500 BC is when it came around. It has about roughly 23 million followers in the world. It's mainly, again, located in India. Again, remember I said many of these living religions of the world are in India. And the Punjabi is a language. The sacred text is something called ADI and Grund, G-R-A-N-T-H. I don't know very much about this one myself, but I'm going to learn as we take a look. They worship in temples, like most of the religions in India, house of worship. The ultimate reality is Nan. They call God N-A-M, Nan. And the purpose of the religion is the purpose of life is to overcome the self, align life with the will of God, and become a saint soldier fighting for good. That sounds like something that we picked up, that Islam picked up. But certainly, again, reincarnation plays a very important role until you resolve your karma and merge with God. This is Sikhism. Very interesting religion in India, founded, and about 23 million, as we said, 23 million followers. We're going to move on from there and take a look at a really old religion, which is Confucianism. Now we're talking the 6th and 5th century before Christ. This is going all the way back. And obviously, well, not obvious, but Confucianism in China. You can look at its symbol here, and you can see the influence because it's Chinese. Now we're talking about 5 to 6 million followers in China. The common name of a Confucian's founder means master. Means master. This is the symbol. The terms Confucianism or Confucian is derived from the Latinized Confucius, and they are meaningful terms in Chinese, and they are Western terms. They are Western terms coined in Europe as recently as the 18th century. But we're going to talk a little bit about. They still have some influence, although not a lot of influence. And then we move on to Taoism. Taoism, it starts with a T, but it sounds like the sound comes out as a D. Again, Taoism around 550 BC. 550 BC. And the founder was Lao Tse. That's spelled Laotze. Lao Tse. And quite a few followers, about 20 million that are specifically Taoists. 20 million. And they use the word Taoist. But in overall, it's about 225 million in the Chinese region that are strictly Taoists. And so, Taoism, I said Taoist, it's easily to confuse those words. The sacred text is the Taoism, and most of us are familiar with it. It's a little very small book that was written by Lao Tse, and it's really the only thing he wrote. But it was so packed with wisdom and knowledge. You can pick up a copy. They are everywhere. They're almost as plentiful as the Bible in Asian circles. The spiritual leader is a sage, and they practice in a temple. The original language is obviously Chinese. Pantheism here. We're going to talk about pantheism again. The ultimate reality is the Tao. The ultimate reality is the Tao. And you're going to see and hear that again. T-A-O, which means the way. The way. The Tao. And of course, we are born in a state of purity. Human nature is imperfect, but capable of seeking the way, seeking the Tao, and doing good. The purpose of life is inner harmony and peace and longevity. In accordance, we live in accordance with the Tao, in accordance with the way. And after life, we revert back to a state of non-being. The symbol here is the Yin and Yang. And you probably have seen that symbol many, many times, and it certainly covers a lot. But basically, this is a religion that is well practiced, particularly in China, and Japan and other places. Again, we're going to get into a discussion about the yin and the yang and how that impacts the way. Last on our wheel is Zoroasterism. Zoroasterism. Get another color here. Let's see. Let's get yellow. Zoroasterism. And we'll take our color around the circle here. We'll put our information in here. Again, it was founded in the 6th century BC, before Christ, and it was founded in ancient Persia. And the founder was, of course, Zoroaster, as they call it. And it's right, it's spelled S-O-R-O, like Zorro, and then A-S-T-E-R. Zoroaster was the founder of Zoroasterism. And depending on who you talk to, in terms of the followers, between 150, they'll say between 150 and 200,000. It's hard to identify who is a follower of Zoroasterism. It was founded by an Iranian prophet and reformer. That Zoroaster was an Iranian prophet and reformer in the 6th century. Zoroasterism contains both monotheism and dualistic features. We're going to talk about what those words mean as we get into the discussion of these various religions. It's concepts of one God, judgment, heaven, and hell likely influenced the major Western religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So you can see how a religion that originated in China had some influence over all three of the major religions that are now prevalent: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. So we can see that the followers of Zoroasterism, and then we see their little logo or symbol here. So when you go around the wheel, there are 11 living religions, 11 religions, living religions. Of the world, and these religions are basically impact the society, impact the community in a lot of ways, impact the civilization in a lot of ways. We're going to be discussing a number of things as we go through and look at this. We're going to talk about myths, and let's look at some of the things we're going to be talking about, just as a matter of course. We're going to try to look at, as we look at all these different religions, we're going to take a look at myths and rituals, because every one of these religions have myths. All of them have rituals of some sort, even Christianity. We're going to look at them in terms of yoga, which dominates, because they're mostly Eastern, which dominates. And of course, yoga sought to link our little man here. I love to draw these little men. Yoga seeks to link the body, the mind, and the spirit. And we're going to take a look at what the impact has been of these living religions of the world. We're also going to take a look at meditation and the role that meditation has played in all of the living religions of the world, and why the United States or Europe, Western nations focus little on meditation and more on prayer. But we're going to talk about it a little more. So we might as well say prayer and meditation. We're also going to look at notions like Zen and divine grace and truth. What is truth? All these religions influence these thought processes as we take a look. And then 5, we're going to take a look further at what we call piety. 6, we're going to look at prophets. 7, we're going to look at the Holocaust and the impact of the Holocaust on the world. And as well as, obviously, the teachings of Jesus. And as we continue, we're going to move last and certainly not least, we're going to look at religion and its impact on the modern world. We call it M-O-D, modernality, B-R-N-I-T-Y. So, we're going to look at all these different areas. We hope myth and rituals, yoga, meditation and prayer, Zen, grace, truth, piety, prophets, the Holocaust, the teachings of Jesus, S here, and modernality and the impact of religion on that. We hope that you stay with us.